Hello there everybody and welcome to the entertainment headquarters, and right now it's time to do another My Top 10, and this time it's dedicated to films of 2023, my favourite films of 2023. And if you look at the big larger landscape when it comes to the world of entertainment and the world of, movies, it's been quite a poor year. There's only been, I would say, 2 or 3, maybe 4 well-performed films in the American box office, the worldwide box office. You will have Oppenheimer, we'll have Barbie, we've had those. They came in the middle of the year. Beginning of the year, you had, you had a little bit of success. But for me personally, I had no real interest to see a lot of the big tentpole movies that were, promoted over the course of the year. I think Hollywood really needs to check itself, because they're dependent on sequels, they're dependent on these legacy sequels, and there's no originality really coming from Hollywood, mainstream Hollywood. Even Marvel's kind of going down the pan. Its first 10 years was a fantastic, and then of course since then it's been hit or miss with the products and the shows and films have been putting out there. DC is having a complete reboot now with James Gunn, and other films have just never lived up to the success. And the biggest success stories of the year are the international film industry, the independent film industry. So my top 10 will comprise of a number of films. Some, yes, are the mainstream blockbuster films, but some of them might surprise you as they are international films. We have films on this list from Korea, from Japan, from Argentina, so it might surprise you. So I'm going to get straight ahead and start my top 10 films of 2023 with the first film. Now, this is a film that I discovered through friends that were promoting it on one of the movie pages I go to, the Fat Samurai Guys Movie Dojo Army page. If you don't know it, check out that Fat Samurai's channel. Check out his Movie Dojo Army page on Facebook. But this was on that, and it stars, and it was co-directed by this person, and it is the legendary Donnie Yen. Yes, Donnie Yen, he's been around for a very long time. We know, the legends of the martial art film industry. We've got Bruce Lee, we've got Jet Li, we've got Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, and this is a film that Donnie Yen has co-directed. It was him in Kai Wei Kam, and it is a film by the name of Sakra. I was going to say Saka, but it's Sakra. And this film, for me, was everything I wanted it to be. It doesn't take itself too serious. It has over-the-top martial arts in it. It has some, it reminds me of the good old days of back in the day when you had those really over-the-top mixed martial arts fight sequences in the classic samurai films, the classic kung fu films. And the plot of Sakra is, when a respectful martial artist is accused of killing, he goes around in search of answers about his own mysterious origin story and the unknown enemies working to destroy him. So this is Donnie Yen's Sakra, and it is number 10 on my top 10.
我唔係英雄，我只係一個堅守正道嘅平凡人。 中朝江山岌岌可危，
馬副幫主尋晚被家人所害，有人指證係你做嘅，
我一定會查明真相。話我殺恩師，話我殺父母。
江湖上人人都話佢十惡不赦，
我絕不退縮。
爹盡力為願。
心協力，定能鏟除喬峰。
如果你唔歸順嘅話，我就要你死喺呢度。
今晚我就要同你個了斷。
There you go, Sakra number 10, and as you can just see there, the martial arts in this, the kung fu, the fighting, the action is just outstanding. I truly enjoyed that film, and you can watch it either in the original language with the subtitles, and you can watch it of course in English dub, but I always find it better if you watch these kind of movies with the as they are intended in the original language with the subtitles. But hey ho, you choose how you choose to watch it, and I hope you do check it out, because Donnie Yen still kicks ass, and he kicks ass in another film on this list later on. Well, that's number 10. That is Sakra, not Saka, Sakra, directed and produced and starring the fantastic, legendary Donnie Yen. Now, the next film on my list is a film that has frustrated me. Not because the film I thought was terrible, but because of the way it's been handled. It really has been handled quite shit. It really has. It is, of course, a film that anybody that knows me, and I know, I like horror. I like horror, I like action, I like sci-fi. This particular film, I was really looking forward to, because I'm a big fan of vampires. I'm a big fan of vampire movies. And this film has been treated very poorly. It, I don't think it was given a chance to shine. It hasn't even been released yet in the UK. I had to go up to my brother's and watch it via VPN, and we had to watch it from Amazon over in the good old US of A instead of having the opportunity to see it in theatres. And it is the film The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Now, I'm a huge fan of Dracula. I'm a huge fan of vampires. And this film I wanted to see in theatres here, just like I experienced Bram Stoker's Dracula. In fact, Halloween month, October, I dedicated to all things Bram Stoker's Dracula. I did a Whitby blog. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the channel. It was dedicated to Bram Stoker's Dracula. I even went to see it at the City Keep here over the month of October with my brother. Enjoyed it so much. Bram Stoker's Dracula, with, of course, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. But this film, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, is based on the captain's log in the book of Dracula. And it was released in the USA. It's been released in some markets around the world. But over here in the UK, it lost its distribution deal, and so it was never released. And for me, it's a shame, because it is quite an interesting film. It has amazing effects. It has an amazing cast. It was directed by Andre Overde. I think that's the name of how you pronounce it. If I've pronounced it wrong, I do apologise. But number 9 on my list, a film that was frustrating for me to find and to watch, but in the end it's made my top 10 because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it is, of course, based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, Captain's Log, The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Evil is on board. Powerful evil.
We call him Dracula.
The Demeter, on charter from Romania to London. Shipping private crates. Contents unknown. Out at sea with no land in sight.
This here is Clemens. He's a doctor.
You dress like a learned man.
University of Cambridge. I know my way around the boat.
Our charter has agreed to pay a bonus for timely arrival in London.
Let me show you the ship. This here is Huckleberry. We don't come with like this to give the eels clear.
Demeter's a fine boat, no doubt.
Something ripped apart the animals.
All the livestock?
This looks like a bite.
Search the ship. Everywhere.
Evil is on board. Powerful evil.
In the night, it drinks our blood. He is here. We call him Dracula.
He's coming!
Did you see the size of that bloody thing?
I'm gonna kill the cursed thing.
He is on this ship, which means that we will never leave it.
The devil is real. May God have mercy on us all.
So there you have it at number 9, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. And, you know, it got a bad rap by the critics, and I think it was very much overkill. I do believe it's a better film than the critics are saying it is, and it does have a fantastic cast. But sticking with the horror theme, I wanted to include a horror film on my list, and I was thinking of adding Evil Dead Rise, but as much as I enjoyed Evil Dead Rise, it didn't do, you know, it didn't do it for us as much as other independent horror films. The big budget horror films this year, I think, have been a bit of a disappointment. The Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe's the closest it came to getting on the list. Evil Dead Rise, and obviously Thanksgiving was a fun film as well. But this particular film is another international film. It's a joint adventure between Argentina and the United States. It is not for the faint at heart. It is quite a brutal, quite a disturbing and quite a gory film. And if you know, it takes a lot of guts to watch this film, I will say that. I cannot pronounce a single member of the cast's name. I can't even pronounce, I can't even speak right now, but I can't even pronounce the director's name. But what I will do is give you the name of the movie and the plot of the movie, show you the trailer and let you see it for yourselves. This film was a runaway for me success. It's gained a lot of attention and it's well deserved, but like I say, it's not for the faint at heart. If you watch this film, it is quite gory and brutal, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Had to take a cold shower after watching this to calm my heart rate down. That's what I can tell you. And the film is called When Evil Lurks. And like I say, it's another international film. It is in subtitles, and I'm sure that I don't even know if there is an English dub. But the plot of this film is this. In a remote village, two brothers find a demon-infected man just about to give birth to evil itself. They decide to get rid of the body only to end up unintentionally spreading chaos. And some of the scenes in this film, what I will tell you, are pure brutality. They are disturbing. The plot is amazing. The acting is outstanding. And the characters all have an integral part to play throughout the film and story. So here is When Evil Lurks.
Hay un embichado en el pueblo.
Estás asustando a mi familia.
¡Lo vi con mis propios ojos! ¡Estuve con él! Esto va a ser un infierno.
Tenemos que encontrar a la bestia antes de que nazcan más. Los tiempos de la fe se terminan rápido.
So When Evil Lurks there at number 8. Quite a brutal movie. It really, really is. It's, like I say, it's not for the faint at heart. So watch it if you will. Next on my list is a action film. It is one of the big Hollywood movies that came out this year. It is a sequel, but it was a sequel for me that did deliver. It is, of course, The Equalizer 3, starring Denzel Washington. Now, the Equalizer franchise, for me, has been a fun journey. It really has. I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. I think the first one, you know, it became such a massive hit, just like Something Else did. And they have obviously, over the years, decided to continue the story, continue, you know, with the franchise. And, you know, you always are skeptical if the sequels will uphold, you know, the success of the original. And I'm happy to say that with The Equalizer 3, it did not disappoint. You know, we've waited a few years for this one. It wasn't just quickly, oh, let's just greenlight a sequel and get it out there. No, we've waited some time for this, and it was worth the wait. So Denzel Washington's Equalizer 3 is number 7 on my top 10.
9 seconds.
Penso che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. E incominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito.
9 seconds. That's what I'll give you to decide your fate.
Ciao Roberto!
Roberto, tell me, what did you do back home?
Government work. I'm retired, man.
I understand pain, death,
For you.
Come sta?
Va bene. Because of these people, I'm beginning to understand real peace.
Roberto, this is my wife. Ciao, ciao. Oh.
And I'm starting to believe
Ciao, Gianco.
They see you as one of us now.
this is where I'm supposed to be.
What happens here happens in many towns. The mafia. They're like cancer. No cure. Who said you could come here?
You should stay out of other people's business.
Whatever it is you and your friends do it somewhere else.
You warning me?
I'm preparing you. Is that a Timex?
No, it's a book.
That's the median nerve that I'm compressing. That's a level 3. If it goes to level 4, you will shit on yourself.
You seem like a man who understands violence.
I like this place. You can't take that from me.
I can take anything I want.
Police found multiple dead bodies on that farm in Sicily. Did you kill him?
9 seconds. Do I look like a killer?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the third one. Whether there's any more after that one, I don't know. But, of course, Denzel Washington did a fantastic job, Dakota Fanning, and obviously all of the main villains, the actors that played the villains were outstanding. Now, the next film is a sci-fi movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. It was probably I've only been to the the cinema about... I normally go to the cinema theatres about probably 7 or 8 times a year. I think I've only been maybe 4 times a year. Everything else I've watched on streaming. And at number 6 is a film that I had heard about. I was very curious to see how it would turn out, and it was visually stunning. It was visually stunning, amazing cast, you had sympathetic characters. It was such a visual world, and in a way it's very much like the Avatar films where you get sucked into the world. That the plot, the plot didn't really matter. You were so distracted with everything else. And at times I did feel like this with this particular film, but unlike the Avatar films, I was more inclined to find this a hell of a lot more enjoyable. Whether this is a one and done, I don't know. I think it probably is, which I would, I don't mind if it is, because it's a simple story with great characters, great actors, an amazing director. And of course it is Gareth Edwards, and it is the creator at 6. Now, if no one's seen this, I do recommend it to anyone who loves sci-fi, anyone that loves Gareth Edwards' past work, especially Rogue One. Is it on the level of Rogue One? For me, it had a similar feel to Rogue One, but of course it's never going to be on the level of Rogue One. But yes, the creator, for me, was another lovely surprise this year. It was a mixture of nostalgia and originality. It has a lot of influences from Star Wars, I would say Blade Runner, different, well-known films of the sci-fi genre. And at number 6, Gareth Edwards, the creator. And if you haven't yet checked it out, I would definitely check it out, and I do think you'll find it to be a pleasant surprise.
When the war started, they protected me. Took better care of me than humans would have.
They're not people, Maya. It's just programming.
10 years ago today, the artificial intelligence created to protect us detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles. This is a fight for our very existence.
Sergeant Taylor, we are this close to winning the war. But the AI are developing a super weapon. Retrieve it. Or they win.
Locate the weapon.
Yeah, it's just a kid.
Are you going to heaven?
No. You gotta be a good person to go to heaven.
Then we're the same. We can't go to heaven because you're not good. And I'm not a person.
Do you have any idea what the thing is?
She looks like a little girl now, but she's growing. Whoever has that kid wins the war.
Whose side you want, huh?
What do you want, sweetie?
For robots to be free.
Oh, we don't have that in the fridge. How about ice cream?
yes, Gareth Edwards, the creator. Like I say, it's a mixture of Rogue One, Blade Runner and District 9. I got District 9 vibes there while rewatching the trailer. And, you know, Gareth Edwards hasn't done a film for quite some time. This was his first project, like big budget project, since I think Rogue One. So I think he's did a fairly good job. But moving on to another franchise, that I you know, didn't know how I would feel knowing that the one that started it all would not even be involved in this, just by name. And this is called Creed 3. Creed 3 at number 5. Now, I absolutely love Michael B. Jordan. I think he plays Creed fantastically. I just didn't know how this would turn out without actually having Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone, involved. He's got a production credit on this, but as we know, he's kind of not in the best place with the person that now has control of the rights of a character that he created, a world he created. You know, that's kind of disappointing. But Creed 2 kind of ended with kind of him passing the torch. So another pleasant surprise with this is it is Michael B. Jordan's first time as a director, and I think he lived up to all the expectations that I expected. You know, actually when I walked in I didn't have much expectations, because without Sylvester Stallone, like I mentioned, I didn't know how this would turn out, but it actually turned out to be another great addition to the world of Rocky, the world of Creed, and of course the villain Jonathan Majors in this was fantastic. I think he did a great job, and he played really well against Michael B. Jordan. So I was very happy with this film. So at number 5, it's Creed 3.
I spent the last 7 years of my life living out my wildest dreams. Bianca, Rocky, my dad. This was built on their shoulders.
Hey, my man, can I help you? Let me get an autograph. Nah, I ain't signing an autograph, but you get off my car. You don't remember me, huh? Damien.
How long were you locked up?
18 years, bro. Just got out last week.
Glad to have you back out, huh?
I know I've been away a long time, but I kept myself in shape. I still got gas in the tank.
Come by the gym. Thank you.
Curious what happened with you two?
I didn't tell you. We was like brothers. I was the best, though. But I never got a chance to prove that. That's cute.
Hurt me?
I know what you're doing, Donnie. You don't owe this dude nothing.
Damien's fighting the world and he's trying to hurt people.
I vouch for you. You think you mad? Try spending half your life in a cell, watching somebody else live your life. I'm coming for everything. You threatening me?
Something is going on with you.
Damien was like family. Now we past talking.
Then maybe you just have to find him.
Do what I gotta do. Some of my methods you might disagree with me. These are family ties. I recognize mine. I know that they needed me. Traumatic stress, watch it manifest. Got my only fear. I ain't scared of death. Did you hear me yet? I ain't scared of death. Did you hear me yet? What you gonna do? Threaten to take my breath?
I need you to let go of your fear. Let go of the guilt. Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I feel those chains are breaking, yeah. I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those stripes and take a step.
Absolutely outstanding. Now, that had mixed reactions when there was the final, fight between Creed And the character, I forgot the name of the Damon that Creed fights, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed how inventive and how different the final fight between Creed and Damon was. I thought it was really well done. The next film on the list, which is number 4, is a film that I had no idea about. I hadn't heard about it. I hadn't even had an inkling. And then it was a friend of mine called Omniblast, as she's known, sent me a trailer to review, and I was like blown away by the trailer. I really was. I was taken aback and thinking, how have I not heard about this? Have I not seen anything of this film? So I decided on my own accord just to sit down and watch it. Had no expectations, and I was absolutely blown away. And the great thing about this film is there's not any bit of dialogue. It's basically a modern day silent film, and it's also a modern day, for me, sci-fi classic. It really, I think, is going to develop a cult following. I really think it's going to be a film that people will remember fondly and people will go back to from time to time. A bit like how, you know, I've got all those films from the past, like Explorers, Batteries Not Included, things of that nature, Short Circuit. And this film was an alien invasion movie by the name of No One Will Save You. And like I said, there's no dialogue in this, and I did a review, but I don't think my review did the film justice. It's on the channel, check it out if you want. But it stars Caitlin Dever, and she does all of her acting with her body language and emotions without saying a word. And for me, this is one of the breakout films and the breakout surprises of 2023. So at number 4, No One Will Save You. What a beautiful, beautiful surprise that film was. As you can tell, it's full of suspense, it's full of anxiety, it's full of drama, it's full of intense moments. So, of course, No One Will Save You is probably one of my favourite films of the year, and it is, of course, it's number 4 on the list. Now, the next film on the list is, it's a film that, I'm going to hold very dear and near to my heart, for the simple fact that it is, for me, the end of an era. Now, the MCU, its first 10 years was just outstanding. Outstanding. You cannot tell me, anything since the end of Endgame has been as good as the first 10 years. Maybe Shang-Chi was a nice surprise because it's an original hero. It was an okay film. The Eternals I was disappointed in. Anything else. But, for me, the next film on the list, it is the end of the original team. The original teams of heroes that came together. You had the original Avengers, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye. Then we were introduced to these group of characters, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, they were, for me, outside of the Avengers, what made the MCU. And, of course, James Gunn's amazing storytelling and amazing, direction. And, all of the other heroes that we've mentioned have had their kind of trilogy of films. The start, the middle and the end of their main journey, as well as the interactions within the Avengers films and, other movies like Captain America Civil War. So this, for me, is the end of an era of the original greats. Because it is, of course, at number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And it was bittersweet. I laughed, I cried, I had emotions that I've never felt for years, because these characters truly have become a part of many people's lives. And so, of course, it is a sad day that this team potentially have split up for good. Part of us thinks they will return in some way, shape or form, but for me this is the end of the greats of the MCU, and I'm glad that the Guardians of the Galaxy and their trilogy ended on a high. So here we are at number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians.
Hello, we come in peace.
Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude?
No! Ow!
Don't forget where we came from.
We have been running our whole lives.
Pete, I'm done running. We'll all fly away together. One last time. Into the forever. That beautiful sky.
Kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
What a thrill it was seeing that in theatres. Like I say, I've been to the theatres maybe 4 times. Well, actually 5, I tell a lie. And I normally go 10 times a year because there's always a lot of things that I see coming, then I see things that I haven't had any idea were coming out, and I go see them. This film in particular, Guardians of the Galaxy, was a top of my list, and you know, it's a beautiful end to that trilogy and those set of characters. Now, number 2 on my list was probably the number 1 movie I wanted to see in theatres this year, until later in the year when I seen the trailer for something else. And this was a film that I had very high expectations for, and it literally blew me away in terms of the over-the-top crazy action, and just, it was just everything you expected it to be. This is the final chapter. Yeah, I believe that. Final chapter in the John Wick series. John Wick Chapter 4 at number 2. Now, John Wick, you know, like I mentioned about a while ago on here, that you had films like the Equalizer series, which was a one and done. John Wick was meant to be a one and done, but then it, of course, became a runaway hit. It's then spawned not just a film series, but now it's expanding into television with The Continental. I did a review of that on the channel, and we're getting another spin-off film next year called Ballerina, which I'm looking forward to, but it's bittersweet as well of this, because it's the last of the John Wick films starring the late great Lance Reddick, who is a fantastic actor. It obviously stars Ian McShane alongside Keanu Reeves, who does not miss a beat. And as I mentioned, it also, this is the second film on the list that stars the fantastic Donnie Yen. And I'm hoping if they do continue this franchise, they at least give him a solo film, because some of his scenes just do not let up. The action does not let up. Some of it's on green screen, but I don't care. After 3 amazing films, they can go all out and do what they want with the 4th one, and it did not disappoint. So number 2 on my list is the one and only John Wick Chapter 4.
Saying goodbyes?
Saying hello.
You think your wife can hear you?
No.
Then why bother?
Maybe I'm wrong.
You're going to die.
Maybe not.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend.
A new day is dawning. New ideas, new rules, new management.
We've known each other since we were 9.
Who is this?
The Marquis de Gramont. Challenge him to single combat. Win or lose, it's a way out.
I don't sit at the table.
Your family does.
Please pray for me. I was the black sheep of the family.
Man has to look his best when it's time to get married. Or buried.
I'm going to need a gun.
Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die.
If you win, the table will honor its word. You will have your freedom.
It's hard to die.
Under the old laws, only one can survive. Failure to meet at sunrise
It's hard to die.
will result in execution. Last words, Winston?
Just have fun out there.
I want you to find your peace. But the good death only comes after a good life. You and I left a good life behind a long time ago, my friend.
Let's go together.
Absolutely loved it. I loved it. And I forgot to mention it also stars Lawrence Fishburne. It also stars Bill Skarsgård as the slimy, pompous villain. And of course, my favourite part in this was seeing Scott Adkins. So if nobody knows Scott Adkins, he played the character Killer. He is a well-known martial arts actor that it's long time overdue that he was given meatier roles within mainstream Hollywood, and I'm hoping now, after playing Killer, which for me was one of the best parts of the film, he's going to be given the opportunity to do bigger, better and star in more high profile films. But go out and check out some of his other stuff, because he is a fantastic martial artist. You need to check out Scott Adkins, and he's a fellow Brit, so you've got to support him. So next on my list, number 1, I wonder what it could be. I've got no clue. Maybe he knows in the background. Maybe he knows on the t-shirt. Well, of course, it has to be the film that's took the world by storm, Godzilla -1. Now, Godzilla -1 is, if everyone knows, I'm a huge kaiju fan. I dedicate Kaiju Connections on my channel to all things kaiju, giant monsters within the entertainment industry. But whenever there's a Godzilla film released in Japan, it doesn't normally get the hype or the mainstream attraction that it's gathered. And that is because this is not just a Godzilla movie. This is a war movie. It is a period piece. It's a character-driven movie. And believe it or not, Godzilla is just the co-star. This is all about the main character, who is a soldier, a kamikaze pilot who basically has survivor's guilt and is struggling. And there's a host of other characters in this, and to see all their stories unfold is fantastic. And then of course when Godzilla does show up, he does not disappoint. This is the first time I have seen Godzilla on this level since 1954. Probably, I think, was it 1985 in The Return of Godzilla? I could have got the year wrong. In JMK, where it was just this evil entity. This is Godzilla as a pure force of nature. He is pure brutality. He is purely terrifying. And it's a pleasure to see him every time on screen. So of course, because of the story, because of the characters, because of the setting in the 1940s after World War II, it was just an all-out pleasure and one of the best films of this year. It truly is, and it's number 1 on my top 10, and it's well deserved. Godzilla -1.
なんだって言うんだ。我々しかこの国の未来を切り開くことはできないんだ。
あの怪物の生態は未知のことが多すぎて。あいつの未来を守ってやりたい。
the film that came out in America on December the 1st, December the 15th here in the UK. It's still out there in theatres if you do want to check it out. I do recommend it. It's not just a Godzilla movie, like I say. As you've seen with my top 10, all of the films on my list are a mixture of the mainstream tentpole movies, Creed, Guardians, and of course some international flavours there for you. Sakura, Godzilla -1. And like I say, this is just my top 10. These are the films I've truly enjoyed this year out of all the other films. There's hundreds of films I could have put on this list, but these were the ones that just stand out to me. Like I say, No One Will Save You was an amazing, beautiful surprise. I really would like you all to check that out. And of course, the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I say, it's been a mixed bag of films this year, mostly disappointing. I didn't want to include the likes of Oppenheimer or Barbie because they've been done to death. I wanted to put some things slightly different on my top 10. So if you've seen any of these movies, let me know. If you haven't, please check them out, then let me know. If there are any recommendations you would like to give me of films that I might have potentially not seen throughout the year of 2023, what's your top 10 of 2023? Let me know. But like I say, love your movies, love all things entertainment, and I'll see you on the next one.